What is going on, guys? This is Aaron and welcome to the first and a new as well as series on this channel. And as you can probably see, unless you're blind, FIFA. Yeah. Now we might as well get straight into it. You just see I'm simply naming myself after my gamer tag because I guess you see people who have these special names that are attached to them, but I simply don't have one of them, so yeah, what are you going to do about it? But as you see a little hint right here, we are going to be Aston Villa. Because I thought, you know what, they've just been relegated in real life. Let's be a team that's been relegated and see if we can do better with them, because let's face it, they can't do any worse than what they've done. Now, obviously, this season and this series are probably going to run near enough to the new FIFA because, there's not really much else going on in the gaming era. There's no football going on. So it's just a series pretty much to carry us over as far as I'm concerned. But it's going to be the first series that I do solo on this channel, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens. But as you can see, we're straight into our pre-season tournament invites, and we're simply going to take the European International Cup because Wonga, most money. It doesn't really matter, I'm simming it anyway, so we'll just see what we get. But obviously here we are, we're straight into it. And the first thing we're going to do is go and look, and as you can see we've got Hamburg, Hull and Hanover in our group. Which are, Hull City are championship teams, so it's quite a fair draw for us, to be fair. Domestic Cup, they want round of 16, which I think is probably doable. I don't care about any of this stuff, I sort that out myself. We got an injury for Micah Richards, which he should be back for the start of the season, so that don't really matter. And our league objective is to finish mid-table, which hopefully wasn't Aston Villa's real life one, because they didn't do that, it's fair to say, or even get close to it. But yeah, so first things I always do, we're going straight into training, and we're looking for those promising guys. And this guy here, Hepburn Murphy, 16 years of age, 61 rated, it's kind of a no-brainer, isn't it? Like, if we train this guy right, he could become a very useful guy for the future. Like, probably for Season 2, honestly. Like, if he can get to 70 by the end of this season, at like 17, 18, it would be ideal. Then the next guy we're going to go for, as you see, is the other 16-year-old, who is Andre Green, out on the left. This guy is obviously a little bit better because he's 62 rated, but I'm sticking him on a silver because I see sometimes that silvers, for me, seem to have a higher rating rate. That makes no sense. Like, I get a lot more A's and B's with silvers than I do with golds. I don't know if that's just like something I'm just making up, but it looks like it happens. But as you can see, we're adding the last of the guys. Vertout is going to be the one I end up putting in because he's 22, 76. And I think, he could actually, by mid-20s where he stops growing, be an 80 rated, which is what we need in this team. And he could save us, getting him up could save us a good 10 mil that we'd end up having to spend on his replacement if we don't. So as you can see, the other two are Grealish and Adama out on the right. And, well, as you see, BAB on the silvers. Like, it certainly looks like what I think might be true, but it might have just been fluke, I don't know, but we'll find out as the training sessions go on. But anyway, as you see, straight into it, because I've already looked at what I want to get, so I just don't really think I need to show you guys that, but I'll just show you me setting up the criteria instead. So the first thing we want is a left mid, and I'm pretty much, after looking at the team, I think for Season 1, the team on FIFA at least is easy enough to survive with. So we're looking to build for Season 2 and further. So we're going for a young left mid, first of all, because, well, we got, I think, Scott Sinclair, and he's late 20s, so it's kind of, he's not the future of the team. And same with strikers, we've got like a Bon Lahore, people like that, who are, they're not bad, but they're old, so we want to refresh the team, bring in some young talent. And the same in goal, we've got Guzan, who's 30. I can't think what the other keeper's called, but he's also 30, so looking for some youth there as well. And as you see, this is me kind of just looking around. So goalkeeper, I like to look at teams like Ajax, Anderlecht, teams like that, because they always seem to have the good youngsters. And we find Andre Odana, who I think at 19 years of age is probably worth a scout, so we're going to scout him and we'll see later on what he becomes. Now we're going to advance on, as you can probably tell. And hopefully, hear back on some of the stuff, get some scout reports in by the first match. But, as you'll see, we get there, none of that happens, so we're going to be pretty much going straight into our first match. And as you see, the team on the left there, this is just simple simming, like, Something you'll notice after this is I really don't stay on the screen too long. So you got to be quick. It was Bakuna, Sinclair and someone, but just so you know, like, after my next block of recording, I'll make sure I actually wait so I can read the screen. But anyway, as you see, we've got our first update from England. So we're going to go take a look at what's on offer pretty much in England, which I didn't think there'd be much. But as you see, Marcus Rashford, I didn't even know was on the game. But he's there, and he doesn't look half bad. We've also got Kelechi Iheanacho. That was a bit of a mouthful. Just going to scout all of them, really, because we don't know anything about them, so we might as well get a scout before we really judge people. So we look at Aaron's, Mari Gray. We take a bit of time, because the thing for me is ball control and dribbling have to be like similar to their pace stats, because else their pace stats aren't true, if that makes sense. Like, say someone's got like 90 pace but is dribbling 65. He's not fast with the ball. You need it to be well-rounded. Like, an 80 pace guy with 80 ball control, 80 dribbling will be faster than that 90 pace guy on the ball, because he can run with it better. So that's definitely something I look for and recommend that people look for as well. Now, as you see, we've got training, and for now, we are literally just going to keep doing the same guys on the same drills and just hope to get them up a bit. So as you see this time round, our silvers didn't do as well, but one of our golds got an F and the lowest silver got a D. So again, it's better than what them doing a gold would have been if they were to get an F. But as you can see, our next game is against Hanover, who lost their first game to Hamburg, 1-0. So we're joint top of the league at the moment. We've got to let it play out, and as you see, Akore, 7th minute, gets booked. What's he doing? Never mind. But they get an injury, but he plays on, and not going to lie to you guys, it's a pretty boring game. Like, as you see, there's another booking, but if you're watching the bottom right, you can see Hamburg have, well, they've already beaten Hull, right, it's done. And as you see, we get a red card, which is annoying, but it's not the end of the world. But as you see, we draw, which means that we now are going to be second in the group on 4 points, as Hamburg have gone to the top with 6. So then we advance on, and straight away we get the update from Germany, which is ideal. And we see right here, transfer offer for Kieran Richardson. But first, I like to just go and get the medial stuff out of the way before I go and deal with the real good stuff. This guy here, he's got good sprinting, but that's about it. And then you look over there, there's not much to him, but I think we end up not scouting him because we just decide, you know what, he's not going to be Premiership quality. We got Alan St. Maxime, but as you see, he's on loan. And for me, I want to be bringing people in this season to build them. So if I can't get them to next season, honestly, it's just not worth it for me. Coman, again, I know he's at Bayern, but I was like, he'd be good for next season. But then I just thought, you know what, I've got my mindset. If I stick to that, it's less complex. Which is then when we see these two guys. We see Timo Werner and Yusuf Poulsen. Both look decent. I basically scouted them because I've heard of them both, and they're not on loan, so I thought they're both going to be decent. So we'll basically just see what they're rated. Now we've got Marius Wolf here, but as you see, this is what I mean. Look at his speed, then look at his technical ball control and dribbling. It's just simply not good enough. He will not be a good player. And then the goalies were just not what I wanted. But this goalie, however, as you see, Onana, there you go, Andre Onana, 68 rated at 19. It's pretty much exactly what we're looking for. Our chief executive thinks it could happen, so I'm going to go in. I think I lowball slightly. I think I just go for straight away 800k. We'll just see what gets said, really. See if they want more, see if they accept it. But as you remember, we saw an offer for Kieran Richardson. We're going to go in. Sunderland want him for 1.4. He's worth 1.5. I'm being a bit stingy. I want 1.5 because I'm selling him to a rival because Sunderland are a similar level to us. But then as you see, Marcus Rashford, 17, 69 rated. That is unbelievably good. Like, as far as wanting someone for the future goes, that is perfect. Whereas this guy, 63.19, is just not worth my time. But as you see, I'm pretty sure we decide there and then that Rashford, 17 years of age, 69 rated, is someone we got to go for. Because that could be mid-70s by the age of 18, and then from there, you could be looking at a high 80s player in the coming seasons. So we go straight in and offer his value, and basically we're not expecting them to accept it, but we'll see what they say. And now the crunch game, however. Aston Villa v Hamburg. We need a result to ensure that we go through. And as you see, I for some reason skip it, and we lose 2-1. Which I honestly thought we were out there, but Apparently, results went our way between Hull and Hanover, and we have got through in second place. We get another million as well, as you see. And then here we got Isaac's success. I know from a similar playthrough that he's about 70 rated. So depending on what other players are rated, you know, he probably won't be picked. But this guy, look at that dribbling stat and that ball control. This guy, and he's an exciting prospect. I was just straight away, I was like, he's going to be good. My first thought, it wasn't, me scouting him wasn't a case of is he good enough. It was a case of is he going to be too much. But then we see this guy as well, Musonda. Also an exciting prospect, has well-rounded stats, definitely worth a scout. Then we look at the keepers again, and this guy, Ruben Blanco, 1966 to 76. I was thinking, I see him and I'm like, he could well be better than that keeper who we're looking at. Like, he could be early 70s, which in that case, I obviously want. As you see here, same training again, and Adama is the series' first grower. His ball control and stamina going up because his ball control, as you can see, is 74. I want to get that up nearer his pace, which is around the 90 mark. So for what I've been saying, I want him to get to that more rounded player so he feels more efficient, shall we say. But as you see here, Sunderland just being tight asses, only want to pay 1.4, and I was just like, you know what? Never going to use Richardson, just sell it. Sell him on. And Ajax have said they want 1.7, which is ridiculous, and I'd never be paying that. So I think, you know what? See what they really want. So we just go up to 1 million. We're just going to do it bit by bit and see where they'll say yeah. And then we got the scout report on Clinton AG, and I mean, look at this sprint speed when I scroll. 94 sprint speed. Looks very decent. But then ball control 65. I put him on my shortlist, but it's just 94 pace to 65 ball control. They don't correlate well. Like, he will not play well in my experience. United come back saying they want 2.8, and you know what? I go straight up to 1.8. For this player, I'd happily spend 2.8. I'd probably go up to 5 million, honestly. And then we get the final scout report on Ihi and Acho, and as you see, just like Rashford, he's a bit higher rated, 1 year older. He's basically Rashford in 6 months' time, is how I describe it. And if he's only valued at 4.1, we're going to go in and see what they want for him. And it says 5.1 to 5.9. Which, if you ask me, that is ridiculously cheap. So I go in straight away, 5.2, basically believe in my chief executive, because if he's right, we could be about to get an absolute steal on probably one of the highest potential players in the game. So that's 2 bids for strikers done, and we then go and look at Rolando Aarons of Newcastle. And as you see, his ball control and dribbling are less than his speed, but not, they're close. So it's kind of a case of a bit of training, he would be good enough. Ruddy, however, as you saw, was just low 60s. Has never got. It's going to take too long to get them anywhere near the team. And we have our next game against Mainz here. This is it? I think it goes straight to semi-finals in these. So this is a semi-final away from home. And as you see, 15th minute, Scott Sinclair gives us the lead. He's going to be our starting left mid until or if we get anyone new him. Then as you see, 45th minute, Clement equalises for Mainz, which is where I started to think, uh-oh. But then, as you see again, a Bonlahor this time scores, and I was like, maybe there is fight in the team, and as you'll see, that is how it ended. So, just by simming, we are into the final, which means more money, which is, for no work, ideal. So as you're going to see, press conference, don't care for them. But as you see, we get another 2 million for that, which is absolutely perfect. Then we go and look at some more scout updates. This guy, we'll scout him, but I don't think he's going to be too good, especially at the age of 20 already. Then we see Matias Pereira here. He's got good physical stats, and I apparently was just... Oh, there we go, I do look. And his dribbling was okay, so, he's worth the scout. This guy, if he's high 60s, could be worth it. Charles at 21, worth a scout, but probably not going to go there. This guy, Andre Morero, looks like an absolute monster, but he's on loan, so we're not going to be able to get him. And Edison as well is recently arrived, so it's just not worth... I'm not going to scout someone at the moment who I can't get. But as you see here, we're going to get to it in a second, but Kieran Richardson sold. We're first going to deal with the unacceptable offer. Oh, no, we're not. I was trying to build up the suspense, but it turns out I went straight in to see that Ihi and Acho's offer, the low ball 5.2, was accepted instantly. So we go straight in, we offer him what he wants, we offer him a role 1 higher than what he's currently on, So if I can get him on squad rotation, it basically means he's less likely to complain, simply. United again say they want 2.8, and I think I go straight to 2. Because from here, I'm just going to increase by 0.2 each time and see if I can get them under, and if not, I will just match their price. Because for those two players, they're worth the money that they're being asked for, quite simply. Those two guys are barely a dent in our transfer fund. But as you see, Ajax again say 1.7. At this point, I'm looking at another keeper who's better than him. So I'm just going to go up by 100k because I'm not willing to spend that much on probably the third best keeper who I've looked at. And as you see here, this guy, just terrible. If you're at Portsmouth, these teams are quite clearly not going to be good enough for us. Jordan Ibe, however, came up, and I looked at him. And again, could be good, but could be bad, so it's worth a scout just to find out. And at this point, I just decided to get rid of NG because I've pretty much guaranteed to be getting Iheanacho and Rashford. And that's my striking position sorted probably for the series, if we're honest. And then Martial, this is an interesting one. I just look at him. It says he recently arrived for 11 million. Now, I could have swore it was somewhere like 39 million or something like that. Like, I might be completely wrong, but I think the game has given Aston Villa Aston Villa? I think the game has given Man U an absolute bargain right there. And now, again, we haven't really seen any more keepers, but those ones in the Spanish League definitely looked good enough. But now, final. Villa v Hamburg. Obviously, Hamburg went through as champions of our group. But as you see, 3rd minute, Ayew gets the lead. I was like, ooh. But then 13, Dermich, straight away, just crushes our dreams. And I was thinking, let's see where this goes, basically. Like, apparently we are in with a chance, even though we couldn't beat them in the first place. Sinclair, 48th, gives us the lead. And again, Dermich, pretty much 10 minutes after, just equalises again. And I'm thinking, at this point, it's extra time. But then, as you'll see, I'm expecting extra time. It's done, and we've won it on penalties. Like, for whatever reason, the Europe Cup goes to 90 minutes and then straight to penalties, which I'm pretty sure no competition anywhere does. But I'm not going to complain. I mean, we won it, and as you'll see, we got a good. We impressed the board for one, but all we really care about is the money, of course. But if you can impress the board while earning money, what's wrong with that? We get another 2.5 mil, and we get a couple final scout reports as well. Now, Timo Werner, as you can see, has some pretty decent quality to him. Like 19 years old, 74 rated. He's probably one where he'll stay on the list, and we'll just see where he is, like maybe at the January if our team's not working out. Because if we need someone, he'll be ideal. So, as you see, straight back into training, because you got to train your players if you want to be good. And as you see, Vertout is doing brilliantly. Like, I swear he's gone like something like BAB. Like, I might be wrong, I don't remember the second one, but he's done well. And as you see, Iheanacho, I think, just wanted a bigger squad role, which 73 rated. He's as good as basically our second best striker, so he'll get into the team. United again want 2.8, and I think I'm just going to go up by another 2. So we'll see what happens with that. Hopefully they accept, but you never know. But we're going to advance on. Obviously, we're going to advance because now the next stop is the season. So basically, we've just got transfer stuff to be dealing with until then. So as you see, we've got a lot of stuff in. We're going to go look at another scout report. And as you see, it's kind of drying up now because we've got the main players in. And it's kind of now bottom of the barrel stuff that's coming in. Like, it's really not stuff we're interested. So, Isaac's success, as you see, he is like 70 rated. Like, he's a good player. But as you've seen with the strikers we're looking at, he's just not worth the while. Theo Bongonda. That's a really cool name. I kind of want him just for his name. But as you see, he had a really high potential pace, but his pace was 80. But he is really well rounded, so I'd recommend him. And as you see, he is going to go onto the shortlist right there. Now, Angel Guerrero, this is the guy. Look at that. 20 years of age, already 77 rated. Only 9 mil. Like, we can afford this guy. This is the one I want as like my big dollar signing. Because think, get Guerrero in. If we get Rashford, get Iheanacho. I think we're sorted for the series at that point. Like, 85 ball control, 87 dribbling. This guy is a monster. Absolute monster. And as you see, they only want up to 13 million for him, which is really, as far as this game goes, I say that's incredible, because this guy, as you can clearly see, is more quality than what that price suggests. Like, he is an absolute beast. But then we see this guy, Masonda. Again, good physicals. His ball control is a bit lacking, but at 18 years of age, that can easily be trained up. And at this point, he is definitely my, should we say, number one left mid choice. But Ruben Blanco here, this is the keeper we want. I mean, 19 years of age, 70 rated already. He could honestly end up getting a look into the first team already. Like, he's already got that sort of quality to him that he could come straight in. Probably by January, I'd say. Like, he could make the team by January. But as you see, we're going to go to the shortlist, and I believe we're going to make offers for both Blanco. I think we'll just go Blanco, I believe. Yeah, we're going to go in for Blanco because beast. And they only want up to 2 million for a 19-year-old 70 rated. Like, you have to expect this guy's going to break the 80 mark. So we're going to go in with 1.6, and we're going to see what happens. But yeah, the next choice on my mind was Aarons or Masonda. And I couldn't really decide. I was looking for a while, and I think, to be honest, this is probably a good place where we can end episode 1, because it's been a bit of a longer episode. I'll probably be trying to keep these between 10 and 15 minutes, because I feel like that's probably quite a good, length for these videos. But obviously, this might have been a bit rushed. Like, my conversation, my talk may not be the best, but you've got to remember, it's like new to me. Hopefully they'll get better, but this has been episode 1. Hopefully you've enjoyed. If you have, leave a like, leave a sub, and I'll catch you for episode 2.